Everyone, I'm back, even though it's only been a short time. But I did tell you in our previous movie reviews, 'tis the season for movies to be dropping. So this time, I'm going to be reviewing The Bride. I was very lucky to get an early screening of The Bride, and I have a lot of thoughts of this movie, so stick around, enjoy the ride.
The Bride of Frankenstein.
No, just the bride.
As I said at the start of this video, I'm going to be talking about The Bride, more so reviewing The Bride than I'm going to be talking about it. But again, like always, I will try to make this as spoiler-free as possible with just giving my thoughts and my opinions, but invariably, or everyone should go see this movie themselves. Let's start off with saying that if you haven't seen the trailer, go watch the trailer and then come back. If you kind of know where this is going, obviously with The Bride, you can kind of guess maybe what kind of big fictitious character this could be. Yes, it is the Bride of Frankenstein. The Bride is played by Jessie, Buckley. Frankenstein is played by Christian Bale. The movie is directed by Maggie Gyllanhaal, and even Jake Gyllenhaal's in the movie. If you haven't watched the trailer, this is a very Bonnie and Clyde movie. And what I mean by that is that there's a lot of murder, there's a lot of crime, obviously because murder is a crime, and it sparks obviously Frankenstein and the Bride to go down that path of that crime is exciting. Now, there is a subtext or subplot to this movie which kind of hinders the movie as a whole, which are what I think. Let's start from the start. The Bride follows a young girl who has unfortunately, tragically, passed away in her 20s, and then she is brought back to life by another doctor. This doctor was sought out by Frankenstein himself, looking for a companion and for companionship because he's been so lonely over the last 100 years. Now, everyone knows the story of Frankenstein, or at least a lot of people know the story of Frankenstein, and there is somewhat some belief that he exists in this realm, and he's not just a fictitious character. Maybe he's more like looked at as Bigfoot, that he could exist, but it's been 100 years since his name and since his existence has been around. So Frankenstein comes up to the nice doctor and says, I need a bride, I'm looking for someone for a companionship. They bring to life a dead woman and then carries on the story. Now, there's a subplot as to how this woman passed away, and it is to do with a gangster that I guess is like a mob, or a guy in the head of the mob, and he wanted this girl out in the first place. Now, meanwhile in The Bride is trying to recollect her memory, and she keeps getting told different things by Frankenstein as they go along on their adventure and their spree of ending lives. I might need to raise the rating on this video because I'm sure I'm going to get flagged some way or another. That being said, so they go into this murder spree now, and so yeah, back to the subplot. It's almost like you get through a good chunk of the movie, and then they bring back the subplot, and then they go through a bunch of the movie, and then they bring back the subplot as to this gangster wants this woman dead, who he thought was dead, or doesn't know why she's back alive. So it kind of throws you off, and it's very jarring because you kind of forget the subplot exists, until this one character or this guy keeps following them throughout the movie, and you kind of just want to go, okay, you're not really doing anything to further the movie itself. I'm more invested in Christian Bale and Jessie Buckley and their character development, and then every time I get more into it, the subplot takes me out, and I just went, there is no point to this subplot. I'll be honest, the subplot of this gangster trying to get rid of the bride is annoying, and it's just not relevant. You could have cut all of that out and just made a Bonnie and Clyde movie, and the police trying to stop these two monsters. But then, yeah, you just have this subplot, subtext of the bride is rebellious, and she kind of sparks the idea of becoming a shining light or a martyr for women everywhere, to speak up and to raise their voices, which in a lot of ways doesn't make any sense in the terms of the fact that she keeps spouting off nonsense throughout the movie without any context or real substance as to why. Spoiler alert, the bride is possessed in some way, and that's all I'll give you in terms of like who might be possessing them. And they keep spouting off poetry and lines about this gangster and certain individuals. It's like a ghost that can read people's thoughts and then enters the bride's head and outwardly says those thoughts. So it's like someone coming up, I point at someone on the crowd and say, I know you did this bad thing 3 weeks ago against your lover or wife or partner, and no one else knows the context behind it, but all of a sudden it sparks a revolution. So there's many... It has its ups and downs. It really does. And I wanted to really fall in love more with the characters and the story, but it just kept taking me out of it, and I really wanted... It should have been just a solid Bonnie and Clyde crime movie, is what I'm trying to say. So when you go see this movie, or if you go choose to see this movie, you'll maybe understand where I'm coming from. But I don't want to try and put my own biases and then make this like... It gets in your head that I'm like, see what I mean? So I'm really trying not to spoil too much of this movie, because as much as there is this subplot that doesn't make any sense or like doesn't really need to be there, I still really enjoyed the movie. The character development between Christian Bale and Miss Buckley, and it was very fun. There were dance numbers that were actually really well thought of and actually forwarded the story a lot. Jake Gyllenhaal's character was amazing to give life essentially into Frankenstein, and so there was a lot of great things about this movie. And as much as this movie wanted to be a crime movie, it's also a little bit of science fiction. Now, I'm not going to give away anything about that, but there are some sci-fi plots in this movie that made me think, well, now I want to know more about this. You could have touched on more about this, then you had to touch on about this mafia boss that is looking to kill this woman again. So it's just left a lot to be desired. Well, that's my take anyway. But I think the costumes, greatly done. I think the main story was great. There were things that were probably not necessary. The music was very telling for the time because it was 1930s Chicago and New York. So amazing work. Set design, the old time New York, amazing. I won't take away from that. I think Maggie Gyllenhaal did a great job. I'm not too sure if this is her first directorial debut, but if it is, it's an amazing start. And I take nothing away from her directing. I think it was a great movie if you just took away everything that was a subplot. As a main story, totally fine. But there are some subcontext and subplots that I just went, this is not necessary. You have a 2 and a bit hour movie and you could have put more story or more investment into Bonnie and Clyde, Frankenstein and the Bride, than you needed to do with having these extra parts. So, character development, acting, set design, music, on point. The downside is there are these subplots that take you out of the movie. So, that is my review of The Bride. Hope you enjoyed it. Go see it. I think it's still well worth a watch. If I were to give it a rating, I really would give it a 2.5 out of 5. As much as I have many good things to say about this movie, the subplot still took me out. So I got to give it down points for that one. So yeah, go see The Bride, make up your own decision. I think it's a great movie. Definitely well worth watching in the cinema, but up to your discretion. And if you do go watch this movie, tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear them. That being said, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Oh, you didn't think that this is the end, did you? Because, did you forget that you have to subscribe to win this? Yes, I'm going to keep doing this for probably every video in the month of March, but let's get on to it. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and you will automatically be entered into our Destined Rivals competition. Now, I'm giving away this Destined Rivals ETB. 1, if you subscribe. 2, send me a screenshot that you are subscribed in the DMs, whether it be TikTok or Instagram. And 3, comment on our videos using said username so that we can prove you do exist. That's the 3 main rules. I will send this box anywhere, around the world. Your choice. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel and you'll be entered into the Destined Rivals ETB. Enough said. Go see The Bride. It is a well worth watch and a very fun movie. Now, I'll see you in the next one.